DragonBlogger.com. I'm here setting up a single-player skirmish in Battletech just to show you a little bit of a tutorial on how mech combat works. Again, this isn't the campaign. This is a skirmish just to show you a little bit of the tactics that you use in Battletech combat. So I'm going to let it load up here. So this game, Battletech, the new version of Battletech, is a lot like the very old 1980s Battletech, where your mech has various hit points dedicated to its left and right torso, left and right leg, left and right arm, plus its head. You have a pilot inside the mech, and the pilot himself has the equivalent of hit points. By default, they have a certain amount of hits that if it injure them, they die. If you lose your pilot, then you have to basically hire a new pilot in the campaign mode. It's really, really fun. It's really excellent. It's very tactical. In Battletech, the combat makes very good use of the terrain. Having elevation above your opponent, how fast you move your mech, how far you move your mech, it determines its evasive capabilities. Whether or not you stand your ground increases the stability of your mech, reducing its odds of getting hit and reducing the amount of damage it takes to its armor. Mechs have an armor rating, which is above their actual hull. If your armor gets damaged but not penetrated, there's no cost to repairing. So you're going to use your mouse scroll wheel to sort of zoom in and out a lot. By default, Q and E are your ability to scroll around the map. You're going to zoom in around. You're going to see the mechs. You're going to move around with your WASD keys to get some positioning of them. You use Tab to cycle through your mech warriors, or you could just simply select the portraits. What you see here is the white dots is how far you can move currently in this turn. And move allows you to have an attack option after move. Sprint is basically use your entire turn to run. Now you'll notice how there's little arrows, greater than signs. There's little less than signs next to. You'll notice there's greater than signs next to the movement once you get a certain amount of steps away. This basically is how much evasion your mech has. When you're fighting other mechs, one thing you want to consider is the more evasion you have and the more you move before you fire, your evasions are increased for your opponent's turn, so that way they have less odds of hitting you. If they fire missiles, less missiles hit you. So you want to take advantage of that movement and have as much evasion as possible. Other thing you might want to do is you might want to, when you move, if you haven't engaged the enemy yet, you're going to want to brace yourself. This basically increases your armor, you suffer less damage, it makes it so that you can't be knocked down as easily. Another thing you could do when you haven't spotted the enemy yet, a nice thing to do is you could do multiple moves and plan all the various movements, and they can kind of all take their turns at the same time to save time. His turn. Now it's the enemy's turn. Over to the right, you'll see the weapons that your mech has. You see I've got an autocannon, 20, medium laser, small laser for this mech. Right now, whose turn is it right now? Still the enemy's turn? Okay, Arclight's turn. So you've got your sensor lock. Sensor lock means if somebody's on the radar like this, he's a shadow, right? Which means nobody could target him and see him. Sensor lock will temporarily reveal him if he's within range to use your sensor lock and allow you to actually target him. You have your other abilities, which some of them use your morale here. In this case, I'm nowhere near this mech, so I'm going to see if I can get closer and see if I can get into range of sight. When I get closer, you'll actually see a red line show up if you can actually hit the mech. But I'll move here.
Copy that.
With Arclight, you'll see my pilots have 0 injuries currently. So the mech is not yet revealed, but maybe it's in sensor lock range. There. So I'll sensor lock this mech right now.
Sensors locked on.
There. So now the mech has lower evasion, which makes it easier for attacks to hit the mech. So sensor lock is a skill you unlock at a certain rating in ability points.
Ready for orders.
I wanted to have somebody with jump here, but it doesn't look like in Skirmish I have anybody with jump jets. Jump jets are very useful for getting around the map real quick. I'll do another tutorial on jump jets. But you can see over to the left here, this is all my armor for the mech. You see its arms, each part has hit points, even its back. You're going to want to be careful. If your legs get knocked out from under you, your mech is immobile. If your head or torso gets knocked out, your pilot often gets killed instantly. You can see now how there's a red dot that shows you that I'm in range of fire. So I can move, get 3 evasion here, and then after the move I can actually get an attack shot. And you can see the cinematic camera just kicked in there. I have it set to just under half times for the cinematic camera kick in. So I could choose to fire all my lasers, or I could uncheck and only fire 1 laser if I want. In this case I'm going to fire everything I got. Cinematic camera kicks in. See, it's even though it had some evasion loss. It still was able to evade most of those missiles. Whenever you attack something, it often loses evasion and gets less evasion for the next follow-up attacks.
They've got a sensor lock on me.
Yeah, sensor
I'm
lock
here.
it is. So another ability which is really nice is multi-target. I'll show you how multi-target works here.
All right.
Once you get enough skill in gunnery, you get multi-target. Multi-target allows you to basically select more than one target in your arc. Right, I got A and B, and they can assign which weapons go to A and which weapons go to B. So I'm gonna have my 2 medium lasers and my autocannon 2 go to A, and then I'll have my other 3 weapons go to target B. And then I'll press fire and shoot the multi-target. Now, obviously, if I fired all 6 of the same mech, I would have done far more damage. In this case, I'm dividing my damage between 2 mechs. It's a good way to finish off an already heavily damaged mech, to do tanks and turrets, which generally take less shots to blow them up. A lance represents a group of enemies, more like a party or a group. They're called lances. So, if you reserve a unit, he'll be available next turn right away. In this case, you see, I don't have. I have 1 blockades in a separate turn than everybody else, which just happened to be that way. I'll see if I can get a better shot on him. You'll notice that if you go into, I'll look at sprint. See how there's green dots? Green dots means you're in cover. When you're in cover, you have more evasion, and it's harder to hit you. I'll go ahead and get in the trees over here. I like how the trees get knocked over, the mech goes through it. The scenery actually gets affected, which is kind of nice. So again, bracing for suffering less damage. Moving so that you always get that movement benefit is really important. Like I'm going to move here so that way I get my 2 ticks to get more evasion. You'd think it might be counterintuitive to move closer, but the evasion to me is worth it. And also some weapons actually don't do as well during close combat, and so getting close means they miss more. In this case, I'm going to fire everything Arclight has at this mech. Did some fair damage, but didn't cut through the armor. There's no part loss. Although you could see they suffer damage, you know, in update. You can see part of its head's damaged. Uh-oh. I blew off some of my armor. Some structures exposed. That's pretty bad. I don't have any crack in what you got. Right. So, let me show you melee works. So, because I have a move turn and I can move and attack, I could choose to do melee. Melee can be particularly devastating if you see I do it 35. He's not a really strong melee fighter, but it's a 90% chance to hit. Melee can be good at knocking opponents over. It doesn't generate a lot of heat, so if your mech needs to cool down or it's going to overheat with lasers, you could do a melee attack. In this case, I kicked his leg out from under him and exposed underneath his armor. Like, again, see, the evasion is what helped most of those missiles miss, too. Because I had evasion from the movement. And he missed with his laser, which is nice. Because your mechs can suffer damage and start losing arms and legs really fast in this game.
Standing by.
Wildfire... Wildfire's a jump jet. Jump jet does a devastating attack that can jump right on them and knock them down. You can see this jump does DFA, 110 damage. Let me show you what jump jet does. One of the most devastating attacks. It injures your mech a little, but it just does devastating attacks if it hits. I can't believe it missed.
Failed to connect.
Unfortunately, my jump jet missed. I was really looking forward to showing that off. So yeah, obviously I have a little less than half cinematics, but you can see the cinematics are still kicking in pretty frequently. Look at that. Already killed one of my pilots. My pilot was murdered. And the mech went down with him. Again, I'm not using, you know, my normal tactics here, which I would play cover a lot more, hide behind rocks, use my missiles that shoot up in the air. That way I don't need line of sight specifically. Just doing this as kind of a tutorial. What do you got here? Let's do multi-target, you, and... Do I got anybody else that can multi-target? No, not really. So just you then. Fine, fire everything up. Alright. There goes his scout.
Mech destroyed.
Okay, enemy's turn. Hunchback. Oh. suffered quite the damage there. Let's see what my
Armor
options
breach.
are.
Internal damage.
Okay, wildfire. What do you got? Not your turn.
I'm
Arc
here.
light. What do you got? Melee. Only 35 damage melee. I'd rather not melee. Again, I'd rather move. Get my evasion from moving.
Understood.
And then this mech is pretty beefy. I'd rather. Let's see. It's a little bit heated. Nah, that mech's tough. I'll hit this mech back here.
Acknowledged.
That mech. This blackjack's have a lot of armor. Alright. This mech's fleeing. Cinematic kicked in. Alright, back to my turn. Who we got? Wildfire. What are you gonna do here? We're gonna do another jump jet attack. Come on, I wanna devastate this mech with a jump jet attack. Come on, slam it. Oh, look at that jump jet attack. Just completely devastated the mech. And that's what I'm talking about.
I'm going down.
Unfortunately, my mech got destabilized and fell.
Ugh, that
And my
hurt.
pilot got injured. But, you know what? Taking a mech out of combat is worth that, in my opinion. Except, now my mech's an easy target on the ground. Oh, my right leg was destroyed. He did a cold shot on me. Not good. Blockade. Come on, what you got? Okay, let's do some movement. Get closer.
Copy that.
Let's concentrate all our shot on the hunchback. Ooh, nice damage. Structure exposed. Maybe. The movement really helps with that evasion. It's always good to be on the move.
Oh, they don't like me at all.
Okay, let's do arc light. What do you got
Aye,
here? You don't have any jump jets. So I want you to move, and then I want you to aim this way. Oh, I can't really aim this way, can I? Let's see, that doesn't work out too well. Let's change my movement to here. There we go. Let's move
Let's
there.
move.
Again. That's fire.
Confirmed.
That was a nice array of hits. Destroyed their heat sink, injured their pilot,
Got past the armor.
and they're unsteady, which means they're prone to being knocked down next turn if I could put a few more hits on them. Oh, that was not good. Left leg, left torso, left arm destroyed, knocked down, side torso destroyed, pilot injured. Oh man, that was brutal.
Waiting for orders.
Alright, stand up. Come on, you gotta be able to survive here.
All right. I'm up again.
What can I jump on? I can't jump on anything right now. I'm too...
Acknowledged.
Okay, let's see how much I can do here.
Copy
Come on.
that.
Maybe I won't get hit by rocks. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Block. Jumping. Is he gonna hit me? Nope. Cold shot though. Oh, that's it. Destroyed my mech. Central torso destroyed. Pilot incapacitated. And I'm down to only 2 mechs. I may not be able to take this one.
Commander. Acknowledged.
Come on. Let's see. Fire.
Affirmative.
Oh, nice hit. Killed the head. Pilot instantly dead.
Enemy down.
I like at the end of campaign mode you can actually salvage mechs and weapons and parts. Campaign mode is excellent. I'm not going to spoil the campaign, so I'm not going to talk much about the campaign this time. You see, a lot of his weapons actually hit the ground, although he did take out my arm, and he knocked me down, and he totally messed up my torso.
I'm wounded.
Yeah, don't think I'm going to win this one, actually, in all honesty. I just do not think I'm going to. My mechs are... Maybe. Maybe I'll get lucky and my hunchback will take this one out. Fire! Ooh, nice hit. Unfortunately, those were misses. And wildfire. You gonna get back up or you done?
I'm receiving
Stand
you.
up.
All right.
And jump. Oh,
Back
might as
in
well make a
action.
jump attack. What the heck?
Copy
Maybe I
that.
could do some serious damage, even if my mech goes down. One-legged mech. Oh, destroyed his left arm. Look at that arm blow off there. But unfortunately, I lost my legs, so I took the risk and lost my mech in the process. But he's one less gun to fight with. There's still a chance I could win this. Let's see what I can do here. I'm gonna do a double move here. In the water keeps me cool. If your mechs are overheated, you can cool down by going in the water. Come on, maybe I could do some damage here. I missed with my big gun, but still managed to do some damage. Not that much though, not as much as I was hoping. Good, he's critically damaged and overheated. He had to pass his turn. Let's see if I can precision strike him. Let's see, what do I got here? 33% chance hitting the torso. Let's see if I could do it. Precision strike torso. Oh, look at that. Direct shot to the center torso. And I just finished off the other enemy mech. 8 rounds. Finished the skirmish. So, that's a brief overview of a tutorial of combat in Battletech. Thank you for watching.